Welcome to the No Hangover podcast.
You can check us out on all our platforms: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, now with video. Our social media platforms: Instagram at No Hangover Podcast and TikTok _hangover. Enjoy. Boom. We're back.
We live, baby.
We're here for another episode, another installment of the No Hangover Podcast.
On this Mother's Day evening.
Shout out to all the moms. Shout out to all the pyres.
Shout out to all the pairs.
Fucking Rick Ross. Oh. Yeah, but happy Mother's Day to all the loving, caring.
For all you moms and all you soon-to-be moms or future moms.
The fucking spine of
You are what made us all.
fam.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
Without
Much
y'all,
love.
we wouldn't be here.
Facts.
I love all you. Love the MILFs. Love the.
As soon as he took
Love
that deep breath, I knew something was coming. I was like, oh, what is he going to
I had
say?
to do it.
Oh, shit.
That's all funny games.
Barstool started shouting out all the fucking porn star MILFs and shit.
Did they?
Like that. They had a post of like a panel like with six different
Tears.
six
Is this
of them.
video or photo?
It was just a picture.
Oh.
So shout out to
funny.
the real moms out here.
That's funny as fuck.
They're killing it right now.
Barstool they do their thing. They really do.
Yeah.
They found their role and they're fucking thriving in that shit.
They did the fight last night.
The Canelo fight?
They hosted, yeah. Big
Apparently
Cat
he
and
looked fucking gassed.
Canelo?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't look good.
No,
I
he got.
didn't watch it, but yeah, all the
He
things
went the
that I heard-
distance, but he got. He was
He
getting.
got touched up a lot.
Yeah, he was frustrated.
Well,
You could
because
tell.
when I saw it was a unanimous decision and it went the distance, I'm like, well, that could have gone well. And then I started kind of looking into it a little bit more. It's like, yikes. Well,
The judges had it a lot closer than what the popular, like the unofficial one on the pay-per-view, and I think Twitter is gonna go extreme no matter what. But it felt like just watching it, because we only watched. I saw on Twitter that like it was like 7 rounds in, or whatever, and they were like, Canelo's losing this fight. And we were like, oh shit! And we put it on real quick, and
I mean, he's old. How old is he?
Canelo.
It's not that he's old. It's just that's not necessarily his real weight. Like he's put on a lot of
He
weight.
went
to
up
get
a different weight class.
Oh,
He didn't
did
lose
he?
a belt.
Did he?
Yeah. He was fighting for a whole nother belt. He's not. It was.
He went to 170?
light heavyweight. It's called light heavyweight for them, but it's 175 pounds.
Wow. Oh, see, I didn't know.
And
that.
he looked tired and not able to hold it.
he was just he put on too much weight too quick, and
He's not a naturally big guy.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
he could fight at like the 170, 168, that range, but when he put on all this weight to try to go the distance, a 12-round fight, and this guy he holds the belt. He's undefeated in that weight class.
he was
It's not a scrub in that weight class. It was the champion of that weight class.
Yeah, it's just boxing doesn't really do a good job of promoting their fighters, so you don't really know who's good and who's not.
Correct.
Unless you're like a big name already.
Which there's only like maybe 4 or 5 big names.
Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Canelo.
I was gonna say I knew I probably know more of them than you. That's why I was just wondering how many you
I
knew.
mean, the fucking Anthony Joshua guy. I mean, I don't really watch boxing like
Charlo brothers.
fucking whatever. Fucking.
Klitschko brothers.
Those brothers.
Do they still fight?
Yeah. We're all like, fuck if we know. Boxing ain't my thing.
It's not really my thing either. But UFC is my thing, and they just had a fucking
UFC card.
274, right?
Yes, sir.
I started watching at the Shogun St. Preux fight,
Okay.
which Shogun won that fight.
No. Sure got lost.
I thought he won that fight.
What?
Watching it, I thought the first 2 rounds at least.
No, he was getting pieced up. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention that much.
Did you not see him getting kicked in the freaking stomach the
But
entire
I saw
fight?
him getting his shots in too.
No, Shogun did not win that fight.
Then I must have not really been paying.
There was a
attention.
split decision, but I didn't even think it should have been a split decision. He tried towards the end, but the first 2 rounds, he didn't really like. I don't know if he was, because Shogun got knocked out by that guy. So I don't know if he was just trying to feel it out, like not get knocked out again, not be too risky with it. But he did not seem like he was the aggressor in that fight. Towards the end, he started to, try to let some combos fly, but at that point, I think it was a little already too late. Yeah. But either way, it was a split decision.
The next fight was the most boring fight of all time, right? Was that the next one?
The Thug Rose fight?
It was Michael. That was the co-main.
The Michael Chandler
Okay, let's
fight.
go in order.
Yeah.
So after that, then did you guys watch you guys watched the whole card, right?
I watched the whole pay-per-view card. I didn't watch pre-fight.
Yeah, I didn't watch the prelims. I went to watch the Rays. I got there at like 9:50. Actually, I watched one prelim fight. but I can't even tell you those guys' names, honestly. I got there
His
exhausted.
Australian dude was the last one because it was ending as the pay-per-view started.
Yeah. And then the first fight on the main card was
Look it up just to make sure.
It was
Don't
Brown
strain
versus
yourself.
Chaos Williams.
Don't stress yourself.
I'm pretty sure that was the first card on the main.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
First fight on the main card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brown versus Chaos.
Who won?
Brown.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, he's fucking,
Long.
Yeah, he's fucking 100. He's 6'3", and he's fighting at 170. Like he's
So
just
he's tall. He's
And
kind of tall.
he's all legs. Like they were making note of that on the
all legs, all arms.
small torso.
Hey, yeah, like it was funny because Chaos was actually doing some work because Chaos is a good fight. I think he's only lost one fight. And they were going back and forth a little bit.
He probably won the first 2 rounds.
But Brown freaking kicked him straight in his face, like legit, like basically like a Tony Ferguson up, like how he got knocked out.
Shit.
Almost the same thing, except Chaos survived it.
Oh, shit.
Like it literally just, and then a couple times. Brown was just literally putting his foot like on his chest, like he was just telling him like, "Yeah, I can reach you wherever." Chaos couldn't reach him.
It was like more of a Brazilian kickboxing.
Yeah, he was.
Man.
Chaos Williams, I think, is only like 6 foot, and so the reach was like giant. It was a big reach
A
deficit.
discrepancy in reach.
Yeah, but that was the first fight. Then the Shogun, and then Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson,
That shit was fucking insane.
which. I mean, I called it. I didn't know in that fashion. I did not know it in that fashion.
Boom!
And actually, after the first round, like you were watching it,
Yeah.
Tony had pieced him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
It was close.
It looked like, I mean, before
he was already
Michael,
leaking.
before Michael took him down though, Tony was winning that. Like on the just straight stand up, Tony had.
But you can't discount that he had gotten hurt pretty bad.
Who, Michael Chandler or Tony?
That Michael Chandler had gotten hurt
Yeah,
pretty bad.
Michael Chandler had gotten hurt. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, his face was
Oh,
all
that's
fucked.
what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm
okay.
saying. He was getting pieced up. That's why he went for the takedown. He had to shoot for that takedown because he was getting tagged.
Yeah.
Like he had already gotten rocked, dropped a little bit. He was tumbling, and then
They both were going at. Did you watch it?
Yeah, yeah.
They were both going at it at the first bell. Like
oh yeah,
But that's how they both fight.
it was awesome.
yeah. That was
Michael
good.
Chandler, that's what fucks him up, is that he fucking only knows one speed, one way, and that's what, I mean, his last 3 fights have got him dropped.
But
Well, I mean,
It makes for entertaining fights.
him versus
but
Justin Gaethje. I mean, that was a straight.
it was entertaining,
war.
but he leaves himself open.
Oh yeah, he was literally like, "Come on, get." He was like, "Oh shit!" But that's
yeah,
yeah.
you can't do the like I'm ready and then get
Boom! Get
directly
fucking
punched
pieced
in the
up.
face, and he's like, "Oh shit!" But I mean, that was just a straight out brawl. Like they had said, first one to shoot for a takedown's a bitch. Like before that fight, and they're both really good wrestlers, but they just wanted it all stand up, all
They're
fucking
brawlers.
yeah.
They're brawlers.
But
And then that fucking up kick to the fucking face.
yeah, that's
That
the
was
first
very-
time
That was very Anderson.
it was. That might have been the best front. I mean, it's up
It's one of
there.
the best knockouts in UFC history.
It is, but it's up there with one of the greatest front kicks in UFC. Like, maybe the greatest front kick in UFC
over
history.
Anderson Silva. I think Anderson
Over
Silva, because he
Anderson?
put his whole foot in Vitor Belfort's face. Like, he hit him on the chin. Michael Chandler did, but Anderson Silva put his whole foot in
I mean,
Vitor
that
I
one-
don't know.
Belfort's
That
face.
felt pretty forceful.
That one kind of reminded me of the,
He said, smell it. Boom.
who was it? Sanhagen versus Frankie Edgar? No, that was the flying knee. Who just fought Frankie Edgar, who knocked him out that same way?
It wasn't too long ago. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know exactly who it was, but that's up there with that one, for instance. But I thought that it was just vicious. It was just so much force was behind that kick.
And it really came out of nowhere.
Plus, I think it's just crazier because that is literally the first time Tony Ferguson has ever been knocked out in the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's literally his
And
name,
I mean,
El Kakui, the boogeyman.
That
like,
shit was scary watching him lay on the ground there for a while too, because they
And
couldn't wait.
fucking Michael Chandler decided, I'm going to do 5 backflips now. Like,
That was cool.
Yeah,
it's just like,
Literally.
another one? All right. And he just kept on flipping. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Like,
It's like that meme where it's like, do, 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 and he like if he's stuck in the
In
in
the
the
fucking
flip.
time
he's like
loop.
stuck in a loop. Yeah,
that
because
shit was kind of random. He just kept on flipping. Didn't want to stop. He was hyped up, and then he called out fucking.
yeah, he called out everyone. I mean, he was
Really
like,
did.
let me get a rematch on Justin.
You get a
Let me get a rematch on Charles, or he was
Yeah,
like,
but the one that
or
caught-
Connor.
yeah, that's
of
the
course,
one-
because he said he'll go up and wait. He was like,
Yeah.
Connor, you don't want to make
170.
155 anymore? Let's do it at 170. I want you at your biggest.
And he's already fucking Michael Chandler. Like for his side, he's pretty fucking yoked.
He is yoked. He walks around naturally. after like weight cuts and stuff, he's naturally like 180, 190 pounds.
Yeah.
So they cut a lot of weight for making 155.
That's insane.
That would be. I mean, it would be an
They're
entertaining
professional
fight.
athletes.
No, but even so, like a 35-pound cut is insane.
Yeah, and this is what they do. You know, they're just training.
They don't all do that. Most of them are between 10 and 15.
They don't all do that, but some
The
fighters do that.
super elite athletes can do it, and like for Michael Chandler,
Khabib
he's not.
did that.
Michael Chandler isn't the most. He's not the best fighter, but he athletically he is like a freak athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell.
I mean,
you could tell when he was just flipping for no reason.
For instance, yeah, that, and I mean, before he even got to the UFC, he was always like an entertaining fighter. He was
Bellator?
He was a Bellator champion. He was a lightweight champion in Bellator. He came over because he wanted, harder competition, and he's gotten it so far. I mean,
they said he has Dana White privilege.
that's what Tony says. I mean, he claims that he's Dana White's favorite fighter. Everyone knows Dana White's favorite fighter is, though.
Well, because Dana White likes money. But
I like money.
as far as fighters go, like I could see the bias, like how another fighter, especially a guy who's like Tony Ferguson, who's like a worker, like.
Yeah,
Also,
he's like, bro, like this guy just came into the league and you just gave him a title
Plus,
fight. Yes,
I
he was
feel like-
impressive in his first fight, but
I feel like there's also some like ESPN stuff too, because he does a lot of like the UFC live shows and shit like that.
Chandler does?
Yeah,
He does more
and I feel like
commentary and stuff.
so I feel like that it's
not
kind of,
even to be like
it's kind of a segue for him into that since ESPN and UFC have that big deal.
yeah, not
together.
even to be ignorant, but like it's much easier to sell a guy who's an English speaking guy on television. Like it just is.
I mean,
like,
Tony Ferguson is an English-speaking guy.
no, but I'm saying like Michael Chandler, like they want to make him.
He's a well-spoken guy.
Yeah, they
He's
want to
well-
make him
well-spoken.
a face.
He
Like
just-
he could be wild
Correct.
and give you all the extra shit, but like he has the camera face. He's well spoken and could give you like even his post conference interviews. He's giving out like full like well thought out fucking statements.
They
and
want
shit
guys
like
who are good on the mic.
Yeah.
Like it's not WWE, so it doesn't take the most precedent. Like you still
Yeah.
have to be able to fight, but like there's a reason like Chael Sonnen kept getting the attention he got, even though he's not a good fighter.
I mean, he was a good fighter.
He was good
In
at
his
one
time,
point.
He just wasn't,
He wasn't where his mouth
where
was.
correct, where his peak, where he thought he would be, and where he was, two different things.
Yeah, his mouth got him into a lot. Like those Anderson Silva fights, even although the first one was pretty good, like he talked himself into those.
Yeah, of course. Just like when he fought John Jones too.
That's why DC
Did not work for him.
is great.
DC,
Because he's that good of a fighter and he's a great talker.
correct.
Yeah.
DC, pretty much. I mean, the only blemishes on his whole career are
John Jones.
the two of the greatest champions, a light heavyweight
Stipe.
champion and Stipe.
Stipe.
John Jones and Stipe.
He beat Stipe. At least he got a W on Stipe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had an
Yeah.
epic trilogy.
Yeah.
Correct.
He didn't get shit on John
No,
Jones.
and John Jones will forever be his Achilles heel. But at the same time, I'm sure at this point in his career, he doesn't give a
Yeah,
shit.
he don't give a damn.
He's in the Hall of Fame. He's like whatever.
He's moved on.
Plus, John. I mean,
That was cool.
there's always going to be blemishes on John Jones' career because of all like the partying,
But nobody has
cocaine,
that
and
over
everything else.
John. Nobody,
His talent-
no one person.
yeah,
No
his
one
talent
man
supersedes
has-
that. He
correct.
has that kind of mystique. Of,
Yeah, that kind of adds to him.
yeah, it adds to his legacy. a little
Like,
bit. It
his
adds to
pref-
the
his
allure.
press
Like imagine if he
conferences.
wasn't hurting himself. How
His
I mean, it's
press
kinda-
conferences are fucking.
It's kind of like a
phenomenal.
Mike Tyson type shit that he's like going out and partying and a crazy guy, but then when he comes into the fucking ring, into the octagon,
You see
he's
the animal.
Yeah, like you see, like he is fucking all his
straight up
demons
would
that
say.
he's fighting, he's letting them out on you in that moment.
Mike Tyson has that more than John Jones because
Yeah.
John doesn't fight angry.
No.
That's John's whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that he's
John,
very
he
reserved.
is very reserved, and he'll pick you apart. Mike Tyson is
What's
a
the-
savage.
He like that tiger that
Yeah.
that he had in his yard. That is him. Like
Yeah.
he
He is a
running through a
straight
fucker's face.
savage, and like you don't fuck with Mike Tyson.
Have you ever
John
seen
Jones,
that? Have
like,
you ever seen that first fight when
different
he
animal.
comes out of prison?
Yeah.
when he's
I love
super yoked.
I love when Joe
and he-
Rogan talks about it
He's
too.
walking out of the ring and as soon as he gets through the curtains, he is staring
yeah,
daggers into
yeah.
his opponent. And then like they meet in the ring, and he's like, as soon as I saw him, I'm not gonna do the voice, but as he's like,
Bro, do the fucking
Do it.
I'm,
You
not
gotta
gonna,
do it. At least do part of it.
I'm a twin of tiger. I'll chew your face off.
That shit is fucking legit. That is a fucking good impression.
But he was like staring daggers, and he was like, as soon as I saw him drop his eyes, he's like, I had him. It was
Yeah.
like 30 seconds into the ring. He's like, 10 seconds in, I dropped him. 15 more seconds, got him again. He goes, on the third one, I like knew it was like lights out, game over.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But no, like that was crazy thing you say because his first fight he didn't look away once.
No, you see it the whole
He
documentary.
literally was
follows
looking.
his eyes.
He was literally looking for him. He was like, if he even moved, Mike Tyson did not blink the entire fucking time he walked out. He was just dead set, locked in his eyes, basically trying to tell him like, I'm going to kill you.
And that's why people like Tyson is so scary because when he's motivated and when he's locked in like that.
Yeah, he was the scariest. I feel like he was the scariest fighter ever.
Because it's not like Muhammad Ali, where it's like he's so technically sound.
And the showmanship with Muhammad Ali too.
There's no showmanship with Mike.
Yeah.
He believes that. Like
he was a killer. He straight up told people like, I'm coming to kill you.
And Mike Tyson's done a lot of bad things in his life, but he seems like he's on a better path now.
Oh yeah, he fought his demons.
That's what adds to Mike Tyson's legacy. The fact that we still have like Mike around,
and that's kind of like John Jones. It kind of his demons, the shit that he's been doing out of the octagon, kind of feeds into his persona, into the John Jones mystique.
One of my favorite press conferences with him in DC. I whipped your ass after a night of fucking cocaine and strippers. Like, like he's like,
and DC is like a fighter's fighter, like a trainer, wrestler in the gym.
He's a coach.
He feels like a very like Kobe like player, like 24/7. I'm going to grind.
Yeah.
John Jones is like
show up
James
and
Harden.
kick your ass. Well,
I just have fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Before we get back to the card, they're saying that Stipe and John Jones it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, it's a lock, but it's just the time. So originally they were trying to set it for July, but Stipe I guess had been he's not because Stipe has a real job. He's a firefighter
In Cleveland.
But he
I don't have PTO, man.
He said he was saying he wasn't really ready yet, and he was so John was like, hey, Stipe is one of the greatest champions or heavyweights ever seen. If he's not ready, that's fine. We could do it in September, because that way he has full time to go through a full training camp and everything.
What do you think the purpose of this fight is?
It's for the heavyweight interim belt.
Yeah, well,
whoever
I'm saying, but like, why do you think that these two are being set up at this point? Because I have a working theory.
Because they're one, because of DC, that's a big thing. Part of it because DC was a champ and both these guys were champions and both they're gonna have to go through each other. Correct. That's one reason. Two, Dana White isn't paying Francis.
Yeah, there's only so many fights that you could put John Jones in.
That makes sense.
At this point in his career.
Well,
like, you can't just put him up against any random heavyweight and like.
He probably only has like 5 fights left.
Well, not even that.
No, it's just his name is too big.
Yeah, who are you gonna put in the ring with him that's gonna be worth his time?
You can't put him
based off his history. Do you think he has more than 5 fights left?
Yeah.
How old is he right now? He's like in his late 30s.
Based off his recent history, do you think he's got more than 5 fights?
I think so.
I think he'll stop fighting when he wants to stop fighting.
Yeah, so
I think he's that good.
Basically, what it is what I think Eric was trying to say. At least he's such a big name that John wasn't gonna fight anyone else unless it's for a belt at some point. Like,
well, yeah,
you don't move up. Like, you don't vacate a belt and go up to be like, I'm going to fight your...
for 4 years.
You had to put somebody in the ring with him that has a track record and that has the accomplishments and all that. And nobody in the heavyweight division right now has that.
How long?
There's
was
a lot
suspended?
of talent. Who?
John Jones. A year?
I don't know.
He wasn't even suspended just now. This was just him not fighting anymore.
When he vacated the belt.
He wasn't suspended.
He just gave it up.
Yeah. Oh, for when he was light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he just gave that up.
He vacated it because he was like, I'm going up
and just sat for 4 years.
Yeah.
It hasn't been 4 years.
It's been a money thing. It's been a who we're gonna get in the ring with him. It's people. It's having to let the heavyweight division play itself out as well and all that. And it is when you get to that point in any career in any profession, when you get to that high of heights, like there's only so many people that you can compete against, and it actually like especially in entertainment and in sports like that, there's only so many people you're gonna put them in there against that is gonna make sense in all aspects for money. For the fighters, for the pay-per-views, for the marketing and all that shit. And I mean, it was either going to be put John Jones in a heavyweight fight or title fight right away, or give him that tune-up fight, which I think this is what – I mean, not I think this is what it is, because I mean, I don't know if anyone's giving Stipe a chance to actually win.
But okay, so that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Is I think that this is their way of giving John –
yeah, for sure.
A warm-up fight.
For sure.
It is in a sense, but
it's so insane that we view that way. Like, Stipe was the champ, like,
but
not long ago.
But his last fight against Francis, no one was
bad.
Yeah, but and I don't even think going into that fight, many people were giving him a chance either. Like, we knew that this is the end of Stipe's run.
Right.
So it's like,
But
it's
before that, like, I know it's an old DC and it's DC's last fight, but he did beat him.
He did,
like,
yeah.
He did hold the belt, like, retain it. He has the most title defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time.
so it's crazy that we're just like, it's over.
It's
Well,
like that sometimes.
because-
I mean, unless he pulls out a fucking.
So listen, he
upset and
is
knocks
the
him out or
greatest
something.
heavyweight of all time, but he's going against the greatest light heavyweight of all
He's
time.
going against the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Like, let's not.
And
I
he,
mean, I like to.
and
I
he
would like
caught
to think so,
Francis
too.
on the best run, probably
Francis's best run, yeah. Plus, it's he beat Francis the first time convincingly, but
as a young Francis.
Francis had
Yeah.
worked on the things he had gotten beat on.
And you also have
When
to,
they went to the ground and Francis beat his ass there too, I was like, oh, this one's.
yeah, and you have to think too, and like in combat sports like that, like
Plus,
there's.
Stipe lost because he kind of started chasing Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he knew he was outmatched. He knew.
I have to go for the knockout.
Yeah. But you have to think in like combat sports, like, but there's a big drop off from the top 10 and then everyone else. But then there's a big drop off from the top 5 or the
And-
top 3
and
and everyone else. There's usually really like 2 or 3 legit contenders at any time. Now you'll have some at like in the lightweight division
Where there's 8 deep right now.
yeah.
Correct.
But that's the outlier.
Yeah.
That's the outlier. More
And
times
it's not like that every year.
Yeah,
That's
more
the most
times than
stacked
not,
division.
you'll have 2, maybe 3 legit contenders. So it's all about that's where the timing and the getting fighters to fight fights that's gonna make sense for
And
them.
John is the outlier of outliers because he's going up a weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's leaving a pretty decent weight division and going, I've done all I can do with that.
Yeah, I
Let me
mean,
go.
correct. Which he has. I mean, what he has 11, 12 title defenses.
He
something?
There's
started
11,
lapping people.
yeah.
I mean, he fought Gustafsson twice. He
Yeah.
fought DC twice. He fought Thiago Santos. He fought who else? I mean, he was Dominic Reyes, which that was a close fight, but he
That was probably his closest fight.
yeah. But then he gave it up after. He's like, you could tell he wasn't motivated in that fight.
He's just playing defense.
Yeah, but we'll see. Anyways, back to the fucking card. That Thug Rose fight was fucking boring, and
Next.
I'm not surprised that she lost. And she started bitching afterwards, like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect. I like defense, and I don't want to get my face fucked up. Like, fuck that. It's like, well, you fight for a living. So
I
like,
feel her. That excuse is bullshit. But I feel her if she had come out and said like, "Bro, you let these other people retain the belt, doing
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Like they just get to play defense and hold their belt. How come in my second title defense I can't just chill out and kind of?"
Yeah. I mean, I understood what she was saying. Like,
But the UFC's answer is you
she's
never
got-
get to chill out.
yeah, she's got.
Yeah.
She has.
You're the
most-
champ. Go get it.
if she doesn't come out and say, like, her coming out and saying that is what's kind of like it's kind of known.
It's okay to feel that way.
Exactly, but when you come out and say it, it's just a bad look. It's like, you kind of sound like a baby right now. Like, you understand what sport you're in, like what you're doing, like that's part of the job. Like that's part of what you signed up for. Is,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hit in the fucking face.
Well, basically, what she was saying is because she has the most, like in the strawweight division, she is the, she probably is the strawweight GOAT. Like she's, beaten. She's held the belt twice. She's beaten majority of every strawweight that's been there. She's lost twice to this girl Carla now though, but
She's the last person.
she
to
had
beat
a
her
fucking
and the most recent
strong
one.
fucking head. She was like Easter Island head.
yeah. But besides that point, she was saying like she's the most entertaining. Usually when you see Thug Rose, she was putting on bangers.
Yeah.
She's beating girls' asses. So she wanted one fight where she sticks to a game plan, plays the defense, does little shit, but it was the most boring fight ever.
She wasn't. The thing
Historically,
is that
ever.
She didn't collect points. It's
Usually-
not like she went out there and was just like, let me get my. It's not the Floyd Mayweather
Yeah,
approach. Like people hate on Floyd, but he gets his points and then he
dictates
relaxes.
the pace. She
And he's
wasn't.
like, it's
really,
over.
She wasn't really dictating the pace either. Like
No.
she was just letting everything come to her. And at some point, like even if you're not like throwing fucking haymakers and
Counter
shit like
something.
that, you have to start fucking counterattacking, like dictating pace and like being the aggressor. And she wasn't the whole
Never.
fight.
The commentary though was fucking hysterical.
They were roasting the fuck out of
They
that
were,
fight.
but not even just them.
I mean,
when
Joe Rogan came out at the interview. Was like, when you guys were doing nothing, and
During the fight, they were like, this is the most boring fight of all
But
time.
I like when they called into the outside ref or like the outside guy they usually talk to.
Yeah, they're
And
like,
they were
what would you tell him?
How
right
would
now?
how would you score this? And he was like, after the first round, I'm pretty sure the biggest loser is us and the crowd. That shit had me dying.
Rogan was like, all right, she went for a takedown attempt. Is that enough to win the round?
Yeah, like it was a terrible fight.
Oh shit! Yeah,
And,
that
like-
was bad. That was really bad.
They were roasting the fuck out
Yeah,
of those girls.
and I'm usually
and
like,
the crowd was booing the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
no,
watching
that
it at
fight sucked.
Duffy's, so you could, and
It's more crowd than commentary when you're at a bar like that.
Yeah, so I couldn't really hear the commentary that much, but you could hear like there's certain points where the restaurant would die down a little bit, and you could hear the booing and shit. It's like yikes, like
because it was such a boring fight.
Yeah, that shit
like,
was not entertaining at all. Not entertaining at all.
Let's go back to before we move on to the main event. Let's go back to the Michael Chandler and Tony situation. So I personally think this is now Tony's 4th straight loss.
It's over. Retire.
Granted, it is the 4 people in the top 5. Everyone who's beaten him is ahead of him right now because he was ranked 7th. Tony's ranked 7th going in.
7 versus 5.
Michael Chandler's 5, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone is ahead of him, but he's now lost to four in a row. And I mean, this was the first time he got knocked out, but even the last couple fights, he just doesn't look like he's in it anymore.
It's over. Retire.
Yeah, the sport has passed him, and that's fine. Okay. Yeah,
he's 38. I feel like it's time, man.
Get out of there.
You can let it go.
Jordan made a good point when we were watching it. He was like, it's almost better that he went out like in a knockout, so he's not taking more damage like throughout the entire fight.
Well, yeah, rather than the fucking Justin fight, the Justin Gaethje fight, that was like, it looked like he had brain damage, and he was still. That's what he's known for.
He's like a zombie.
He fucking refuses to go down, but he's like,
be sad,
it's
though,
so fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. I hope
those are the type of whether it's in any sport, like those are the type of people that have a hard time adjusting to
life afterwards.
Yeah, like that's all they know. That's all they do. Like,
I mean, Tony comes out and says it all the time though. Oh, I'm an athlete. I want to. Let me go fucking box. Let me go wrestle. Let me go play.
I mean,
baseball.
I get that's where his heart is at, but like.
Correct.
The performance ain't there, bud.
He's 38 years old.
Did you hear Dirk's comments recently?
Uh-uh.
A couple of days ago, he came out. He goes, I kind of regret playing those last 2 years. He was like, because I can't play with my children right now. Like, my knees can't do it. I can't go out there and run with them.
Damn.
He's like, I wonder if those last 2 if things would have been different if I had just taken those last 2 years off.
Now he's like,
he's only playing, like, not only playing basketball. Like, obviously, it's a very tough physical sport.
I mean, he's 7 feet tall too, so that's a different type of
and
impact
40,
on your body.
so.
Yeah.
Played for 20 fucking seasons.
I think the point is still the same though. Like when you stay a little bit too long, you take a little bit too much unnecessary damage. It takes
away from the after.
Remember Derrick Rose came out and said that when he left the Knicks like during a game. He was just like, I can't do this.
Took almost a year.
He had a mental like just.
It was
sabbatical.
like a month. Yeah. I don't know how long it was. It was like a month, a couple months.
Felt like it was a big deal at the time because everyone's like,
it was a big deal.
No, nobody had ever done that.
Yeah, well, and also the type of player that he was too.
Away.
I mean, he was an MVP, the youngest MVP, and just dipped. Like his descent.
Yeah,
was
and he came back and he was like, he gave that interview and he's like, I want to like be able to be there with my kids. I want to be able to like walk at their graduation. Like I don't want to be in a wheelchair. Like he's like, I feel like I come back from rehab and I get injured. Like at what point is enough?
Yeah, he almost hung him up, but. And D-Ro's still in the league.
Yeah. I mean, he's back to not ever back.
There's no MVP Derrick Rose ever.
But he became a good player.
Role player. Yeah, he's a good role player now. He kind of had to humble himself and take a step back.
That's the thing. I mean,
for that year, and now he understands what his.
He was always humble.
Yeah, he was humble even when he like.
But if you're an MVP, like, and you have to
adjust your game,
you have to take that realization and look yourself in the mirror and be like, look, I'm not.
He came back to Chicago and it was Jimmy's team.
Yeah, I can't do this anymore.
That was tough for him.
So even if you are a naturally humble person, like it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, I don't mean tough as in like tough like mentally. I think he was fine with it's Jimmy's team now. I'm just like his role in the game. Like he gets the ball now, and it's like. I've always just been the go-to scorer guy.
And now he has to adjust.
Now I'm just a pure point guard.
Who knows? I mean, he might have liked it because that
now
shit was,
he likes it.
No, I'm saying even then, that shit was mentally tough for him coming off of such that
the thing is that it doesn't like
he got screwed by the way.
Yeah, regardless of how
terrible system
humble you are, it's still going to be a transition period when you're coming from that height of heights and then you have to adjust your game to be a role player.
You've seen the clip of when he gets traded.
Yeah,
like and he's getting interviewed and he like has a
he's fucking crying about it. It's like
he never thought that would happen.
To swallow that pill,
especially there, that was his
hometown.
Yeah, to swallow that pill is hard, regardless of how mature you are, of how humble you are. Like it's a hard pill to swallow, but
dropping 50.
That's a testament to his to his character that he was able to in a short period of time
come back,
turn it around, and be like, all right, this is what my role is. I love basketball. I'm gonna do this because I love this game and. He wanted to be a part of it. There's other players like Westbrook that.
Well, we'll see. It's only year one of this transition.
All right, Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo took a couple years.
It took him a little bit longer, but then he swallowed. He's like, all right, well, if I want to continue to play, then this is what I got to do. Russ, I have little faith in him, but you're right. We'll see. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Ouch.
Yeah. R.I.P. No case, too. A naked iPhone. You're bold.
We're good.
You're bold. Oh, we got a little sidetrack.
We're good.
All right, but back to what I was saying. So, as the room, you think he retires?
I hope he
I
retires.
personally don't think he. Well, that's
the
the
UFC
thing.
is going to make him retire.
It depends. Yeah,
I hope Dana.
I don't know.
I wish Dana would do that.
I mean, they don't.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how many
Cerrone is
fights.
still fighting. And
I don't know how
he
many
should have retired like fucking 5 fights ago. Like
5.
No, the Conor one, it was over.
I'm being generous.
You saw what he said in that interview? He came out and interviewed, like, saying
he said that he didn't want. He
was like, I knew before I went out to fight Conor, I did not want to be there.
Yeah, I did see that.
Then don't go
He was
out
like,
there.
in a fighter's head, there's a switch, and when that switch goes off, and you know you don't want to be there, he was like, he probably could have got me out even faster. Like, he just didn't basically want to be there. And plus, he acts like a little bitch.
And what does that
sometimes,
tell you about Conor? If that's Conor's most impressive thing in the last 6 years,
I've been saying this. Like Conor he's too fucking.
I don't think it's over. Like
Money
I don't know if
man
it's
up.
over for Conor, but
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have that fucking. The reason that he fought was for the money and the fame and to get himself.
It was the
out
dog.
of a
He was the
situation.
dog in the fucking.
But now he's lost that dog, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But
can he get it back?
no,
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Unless he starts something
No.
drastic, he has to start losing money and like people attacking his character and like really. Yeah, but like to an extent,
It doesn't lose money though.
It feeds
that's
into
fact.
the attack of character. Kind of feeds into the notorious, persona.
He's
that
the bad guy.
Yeah, so it kind of that doesn't really. But I have to like real damning stuff that he's got to go back into the trenches. Then you can find it, but it doesn't look like.
I mean, he went to jail
Well-
and he knocked out an old man, and nobody gave a.
But again, the role that he plays, his persona, like it's gonna be hard for him to feel like he is back in. As long as the money's coming in, he could, all the bad, negative shit as far as going to jail and stuff. That just feeds into what his persona is.
And he's also delusional. It's what part of what makes all these athletes great is the delusion that they have.
Yeah, you have to. You
He
have to have
thinks
that confidence.
Like when he
have to.
snapped his leg, he was like, "I was winning that fight," and it's like,
no, you weren't, but
okay,
It wasn't as I see.
The
I
MMA
mean,
guys
it
will
wasn't.
try and tell you
It wasn't
something else.
It wasn't like that crazy lopsided though. I don't think he was winning that, but it could have. That's a first round fight. Like
okay, but let's be real. You can usually tell.
I thought it
more
was
time,
right early
more
in the
times
second
than
round.
not, you could usually tell.
when he broke it, it was. But like in that first round, it wasn't like he was getting fucking.
yeah, because we were together
ass
watching.
beat.
it.
But you could usually tell within the first round or so, who's in control of the fight and who's going to win the fight. More times than not, barring like someone does some crazy ass knockout or shit
Debatable
like that.
though.
More
Debatable.
times than not, you can cut. But the debatable ones is when someone comes and just lands a crazy fucking punch or a kick out of nowhere and knocks the guy out.
For instance,
But sometimes guys in the first round are just feeling out.
I'll give you an example, and you can. I don't know if you'll agree with it, but the Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira fight. Michael Chandler won the first round. He had put Charles down. He had got Charles hurt.
Yes.
He won that first round. The second round starts. Charles puts him away within the first 30
Charles
seconds.
Oliveira, though, let's get to that because he
You want to
has
go
like
to the main card?
yeah, he has a
I'm hyped for
fucking
the
he has
main
a formula because the last few times it's that he is like gone
So
hurt.
that goes
in the
against
fir-
what you were just saying. He
Yeah,
loses
but-
the first
Yeah,
round.
but Charles Oliveira, that's an outlier to me.
If
You watch,
all this.
if you're looking like
third
through-
quarter Warriors.
if you're looking through like watch the
Basically.
fucking the prelims and all that, more times than not, in majority of fights, the person who has control in the first round will, and if they have a dominant control over it, will most likely go on and win the fight.
If it's dominant, yes.
But
it all depends though, because the UFC, just like last night, I personally thought Tony won the first round too, and then what happened second round? Boom.
kick to the
Sleeping.
fucking face. That shit
So
was vicious,
it's part of the game. You never know what's gonna happen.
And that's and that again, it's relative because the UFC is super unpredictable because of the fucking nature of the sport.
Yeah, any one shot, people like, yeah, we credit all these people for having the fucking chins of steel, but any one shot could put somebody out.
Yeah.
It all depends.
Nobody's
on,
indefensible.
correct.
Yes.
A perfect shot could put anyone out. So like
Everyone, all your favorites have been knocked out.
literally,
Except for John Jones.
Not me.
there's a couple who haven't. Like for instance, Khabib had never even really got hurt
the
like
greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
And
Even fucking George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, people
Yeah, they got
who we
George
consider
St. Pierre
goats,
has
they-
2 losses.
Yeah, they've been knocked
Silva
out.
got knocked out hard.
Yeah, Silva got knocked out.
But Silva's
I don't
another
think-
one that he kind of started
Did George
fighting.
get knocked out?
Yeah, he did against Matt Serra.
He got knocked out,
Yeah.
or he got submitted?
It was a TKO.
Is it
It was-
Matt Serra?
He got submitted. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it was like a rear naked choke. He kind of like had stunned George.
Yeah, look at
and
it.
then I think
he lost, and then he came back the next fight and fucking waxed him. So
TKO, knockout TKO. The rematch.
That's how he won.
Yeah, he whacked.
The rematch
of Matt
GSP won by knockout.
Yeah, he waxed.
I'm pretty sure he was
fucking
submitted
waxed
the
him.
first
round TKO of the first fight, UFC 69.
Yeah, it was a TKO.
TKO first round.
Yeah.
Shocked the UFC world.
Yeah.
Interesting.
TKO punches.
Because I heard because George St. Pierre
might be Herb.
I've seen.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a full blown knockout, but he's getting worked, and they're like, stop the fight.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen interviews of George St. Pierre talking about that, and he said he just wasn't in his he just wasn't in it. He wasn't.
It's mental, like Dennis was saying. Like you have to fucking have that. You have to be in your head like I am ready to die in here. Like, I mean, people hate on Izzy, but Izzy's mindset, he literally is like, I am the best. I will die in here before someone takes that title from me.
I like Izzy.
I love Izzy. As a fighter, I love Izzy. People think he's cocky. I'm like, bro,
and
that's part of what you have to be.
You know how I know he's not cocky? Is when he lost.
To Jan?
He didn't make any fucking excuses up there.
He didn't.
He got me. He's like, I had a bad day. He got me.
Yeah.
He's like, people lose all the time. I lost.
Yeah, because he's lost before. Like, people were like,
he's not undefeated in fighting.
He was like, it puts you're not undefeated in MMA anymore. He was like, I've lost in boxing. I've lost in kickboxing. I've lost in life. He was like, you lose. And it's factual. I mean, you gotta you get up, you dust yourself off, and you fucking keep going.
He's like, everyone has bad days in the gym. He goes, but my bad day just happened to be
right now in front of everybody.
Yeah, like it happens.
But
I loved when Izzy said that because he was just like, no excuses, and he came back like 2 months later, fought again, like
fucking knocked out. Who did he knock out right after it? Was it Robert when he came back? Or
but that's
was
how
it,
you can tell.
No,
like, that's how a champion. That's how a champion is built.
Yeah.
Like. That he doesn't let, like, he refuses to let things like that beat him.
Correct. And all right, let's get back to the main event. Back to Charles and this It's
been a while since we talked about UFC, so.
It has. We're excited. We're going all over the place. So Charles, like I was telling y'all last night, he has a system of, he gets hurt. He does get tagged a little bit. But Charles, his jiu-jitsu is unmatched. So he'll literally, he'll go to his back. He'll drop down and be like,
people are like, no, I don't want to.
They'll literally see him like, fuck
was
that.
it just we were just talking about it? Most people see that opportunity when they're on their back and they go into fucking.
That's what DC said. He was like, he's like, I can't. You don't. With Charles Oliveira, is like when you put somebody down, you hurt them. You realize they're on the ground.
Swarm them.
He goes, you try and get as many punches as you can to try and end this thing. He goes, as soon as he goes to the back, you kind of wait for him to get back up again.
And everyone
he can recover.
So you have to knock him out cold. Because if you go to the ground with him, it's over.
If you look at his fights, Dustin Poirier put him on the ground. He didn't do anything. Michael Chandler put him on the ground, didn't dive on the ground with him. Justin put him on the ground, didn't dive on the ground with him. Like he
has a system, bro. He has a system.
He goes down. He'll
take a fucking punch and he'll take a hit and get fucking wobbled and hurt. But then I feel like that kind of like it might give him a fucking jump start or something. Because then he's able to like get a feel for it when he's on his back recovering and shit. People don't want to rush in. It gives them a chance to fucking, understand what's going on. And then second round comes around and he made quick work of Justin Gaethje. Like that shit was not even fucking close in the second round. That's why I don't know. It
wasn't even the second round.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
It was
that's why I
3 minutes into the first round.
I don't even know whether to call that an ass whooping or not because like it was a fight up until that point.
It was exciting. Yeah. It was exciting. Justin was getting some hits in. Like you saw Charles's eye.
Yeah,
he did get rocked a little bit, but he was tagging Justin. He's just so fucking.
He got a big old head too.
He's so clean with his shots. Like he knows, like it's short. Just how he knocked out Michael Chandler. Short left hand, like it's quick. Just fucking short left hand hook, right hand jab. Like he's just so quick with his
that
fucking.
Shit is fucking clean. He is.
He
is quickly fucking throwing himself into that GOAT conversation.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is part of the UFC just a make and miss league?
Yeah. I think fighting is one of the most unpredictable sports because it is mental.
Pretty much.
And if you get like, you can have all the talent in the world, but once you start getting punched in the face, like that
game plan goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a different.
The worst fight ever.
Like and kind of with football too, you'll see fucking 7-on-7 people that are shining stars. They're this, that, and that. They're all fucking all league, all world. Once you put pads on them, they start getting fucking hit. Then it's like, oh god, like.
No.
You ain't shit, dog. Like,
and I mean, Mike Tyson said that. Everyone said that.
It's, you
always have a game plan until you get punched in the face.
The physical sports, it's definitely like, because basketball, soccer, those are more finesse. You can get there's contact, but you can get away with being a great like one-on-one ISO player, and it translating to wins. A 5-on-5 league, or
James Harden.
With soccer, like, you're a great individual. That helps open up and shit like that. In physical contact sports, like, you could be all finesse, this, that, whatever, but if you can't take a hit, if you're not mentally prepared for that shit, then it doesn't matter how much talent you have. You got to be there. You have to have a certain level of toughness to play those sports.
I just mean like guys that we say are like the best ever, like Khabib. Mm-hmm. His game plan is not always the same, but like
he has a base, he has a foundation.
You know what he's looking for when he goes into a fight.
And he's
going to maul you.
Elite at it.
But like it feels like
I personally
the switching around of like the top 10 and stuff all comes down to like maybe not luck, but kind of if you can just put a couple people down in a row, you can kind of look better than what you really are.
Yeah, for sure.
I personally think Charles is better than Khabib. Not on look.
I think Khabib's resume is super impressive.
Yes and no. I give it. Because it's perfect. It's 29-0. I understand that.
All of it's on his terms.
But the names that Khabib has beaten versus the names Charles Oliveira has beaten.
But that's name power.
But it's the competition. It's like
but like for Charles, a guy like Justin Gaethje, that he has a big name. But me personally, I think his name is bigger than what he actually is, and I feel like his name elevates him a little bit more than what he actually is.
That's fine. They both beat him, but I'm just talking about different people that. That Charles has beaten.
Who's Charles' best win?
Dustin? I would say Dustin Poirier is his best win.
Who's Khabib's best win?
It'd have to be probably Dustin as well.
Or Pete Connor?
Man,
because Connor was at his peak.
Yeah, he still was in that. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be that guy.
It's all how you look at it.
But we look back on it, it's easy to be like, man, it was, Conor was in his peak. It's so great. But like going into the fight, a lot of people were like, grappler versus striker historically favors grappler. Like a lot of people were picking Khabib going into that fight.
I'll say this. It all depends on when Islam and Charles fight, if Charles makes quick work of Islam, he's the greatest. Because Islam is basically Khabib 2.0.
I think they have to settle it if he makes quick work of Islam.
You think Khabib comes out of retirement for that?
Nah,
he'll come out of retirement.
That's what he said.
That's
what he said.
No, he said if Conor beats Islam.
No, he said if Conor beats Islam for the belt, I'll come back.
He was like, all right, then I'll beat Conor's ass.
But Conor's coming back for the belt.
Conor's not gonna fucking do jack shit for the belt. He's coming back for it, but he's gonna get fucking.
But you never know. But it's a make or miss league. He just needs one.
He does, but he does.
That's a powerful left hand.
And if that gets Khabib back and we get Khabib Connor too,
a level of fucking skill that still
I don't want that.
I would love that.
Because then that just means you get Khabib Connor 3.
Exactly. It'd be the greatest shit ever.
But Khabib Connor 1
They're going to do a fucking Hell in the Cell for Khabib Connor 3.
No one's allowed. Khabib Connor 1 is still the greatest like pay-per-view moment in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Just the whole build up to the fight, the entrances, how live that crowd was.
He flew into the fucking crowd with a
I'm saying everything before the fight. Like the way they walk in, that when Connor's Notorious music hits, like, and then Habib, like how the fight ends up going, and Habib's like hitting him, and he's like, talk shit now.
He was talking. That's
the
greatest shit when he's kicking his ass and just fucking talking shit to him, and like you can hear when the ground and pound hit, like. That's like it's a different level of hurt. Like it has a different sound.
And Conor
wanted ground and pound sound has a different sound than everybody else's ground and pound. This shit was wild.
Conor wanted no when he after that bell rang and he was sitting in that corner, he wanted no piece of that.
Oh fuck. I don't know, man. Charles he's fucking
he doesn't have that.
He's made me a believer.
That Khabib factor where it's like,
he's getting it. He's made me a believer because the way he flips.
He's a great technical fighter.
Yeah, but he can take a hit too, and then it seems to get him going, and then he made real fucking quick work of Justin.
And Khabib does that as well. Habib made quicker work,
but
not of Justin.
No, not of Justin, but
They
it was
went-
a
they went
different
into the
element.
when did they do?
It was a different type
it was
of
a second
fight,
round
though.
submission.
This was
and he didn't want to
the
snap
first
his arm.
3 minutes.
Khabib, but
That's a 2-minute difference.
Charles was fucking taking
The first
hits.
round.
Charles was
That's what
taking
I'm
hits.
saying.
At no point in the Khabib Gaethje fight did you think that Justin Gaethje was going to fight.
In neither fight, did you think that the other person had a chance?
Justin Gaethje,
You thought he had a chance?
at a point when he fucking wobbled him and hurt him. Yeah.
Okay.
There was no point in the Khabib fight where
Even more to my point, they are both technically incredible. Where their game plan works for them. Like
No.
their game plan
But
looks
they're-
unpenetratable right
No.
now. The difference is when I think Khabib will like kill somebody in there. Like he has an extra added layer of
They're just different. Kind of
he's
fighters.
about that life,
Yeah.
like for real.
Well, yeah, when it comes to just straight hitting you, but Charles will literally find a way to choke you the fuck out. He is the
So will
greatest.
Khabib.
No, he
They're
is
both the greatest submission
No,
artists.
they are not. Records show they are not.
he's had more
Charles-
fights.
It does not matter. Charles is that guy. He has fucking this 11-fight win streak. All of them except Tony Ferguson, which is crazy. to me.
Khabib's on an
All of them.
18 win streak.
Well, this is just, his most recent win streak. He has losses in his career, so it's different. He's not, people will always give Khabib the nod because he's 29-0. Just like I would say John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, 20. What is he? 24-0-1.
something like that. Yeah, he has a no contest.
Is a disqualification? Or no, he has a loss. He has a disqualification.
Yeah.
It's not a loss though. It's a no
contest.
contest. It was an illegal
That's
knee.
bullshit. It should be a loss.
I mean,
It's not
it goes into his win-loss record as a loss, but it go like when you look into the
It's 20. Whatever his record is, 0-1.
when you look into what
the
loss is, it's going to be a no
A
contest.
no contest doesn't give either person the win because he wasn't able to continue.
No, he has a loss. He has an official loss.
And that's a no contest.
Yes, yeah, but it goes down as a loss.
Yeah,
Horseshit.
that's what I'm saying. That it's still like when you look at his
As it
win-loss
should.
record, you will see
26-1.
Yeah, but when you go into like the details of the loss, it will come up. Well, no contest, and so. But people still regard him as undefeated. Like nobody is beaten.
He beat himself.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be interesting moving on. Charles
But
Oliveira.
yeah, I'm just excited to
is
see
a
like
fucking
Charles
animal.
is that guy.
He really is an
But
animal.
it was interesting to see because we say this and everything could change when he fights Islam. I mean, Islam can make quick work of him. We never know. I
So who's
personally don't
gonna-
think
Did you
so.
hear them basically killing the Islam Dariush fight in the post-fight
Did they?
pay-per-view?
Well, Joe Rogan and them-
they were like, that doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't.
Like Rogan and DC were like, just put these two together. He's like, I like Dariush. I think he's a great fighter.
Same.
They
but
don't. He doesn't
yeah,
need to do
yeah,
that.
and he's saying like
It's-
they kind
Don't
of
ruin this. Like, don't have one of them fuck it up before they get to each other.
Yeah, they kind of basically not shit on Darnush, but basically were like he's not there yet.
He's not.
Like he's not
on the
that
same
guy.
level.
He's not. He's not. Like
They're
I
like,
said
he's not that
before,
guy.
there's usually only 2 to 3 contenders, and in this situation, like they've made their points. We
But-
know who the 2 best are. Like
But Islam, see, the thing is with Islam, to go to back to my point with Khabib, Islam has this record, this fight win streak of 10. There's no real names on it where I'm like,
and that's
oh,
fine. But the way that he is just fucking kicking their ass.
You're talking about Habib?
no,
I'm
Islam.
well,
Islam
Islam.
Makhachev.
Islam's 10-fight win
But you
streak.
can be impressive and beat nobodies, though. You can be impressive.
Yeah, you can,
The
but
way that
it's
he's
like
kicking their ass
for
is
instance,
like-
it's like what's his name? Who just beat Gilbert Burns? Having a brain fart. right now.
Chimaev?
Yeah, Chimaev. He, the 4 fights he won in a row, those were nobodies. This first Gilbert Burns fight, that was a real contest for him.
Yeah.
He still won, but that was his first real fight.
Yeah, and you saw how he stood up. But the thing is that we knew he was for real off of those 4 nobody fights, and this kind of solidified that. You can tell when someone is just fucking running through people and making light work of people.
I mean, either way.
At the end of the day,
You know
They
how
are
you watch
professional
early in college
athletes.
football seasons when Alabama plays the Citadel?
yeah,
And it's like 72-0.
Yeah.
And it's like they're playing nobody. He goes, but you got to look at the execution. Like
Yeah.
they're so clean out there.
yeah, we know
They're executing at such a high level that it
No.
doesn't.
Yeah.
They would have won no matter who's in front
Yeah,
of them.
to your points, yes.
would've gotten
I
tougher,
do,
but-
I do get that. I understand that part. But I'm just saying,
and also too, like you have to think
this
like,
will be his greatest Islam's greatest test.
in fighting,
To
in
fight
fighting in
fucking for
particular
that
as
belt.
a sport, like name power gets put
I was like, football?
Name power is a big thing in fighting. Like name brand and who's getting put in the ring together. That will elevate a fighter more than anything in fighting. In my eyes, is that if you can build a brand for yourself and make it seem like you are the fucking shit, the one, and this, that, whatever. When your fighting skills are good, but they might not be where your mouth is or where your name power is, that'll elevate. Like Charles Oliveira has beaten a lot of names, but like in the grand scheme of things, how much better are they than the guys that Islam Makhachev has run
A lot better.
I don't know.
They're the people that Charles has won have had UFC gold.
Gaethje had an interim.
So did Dustin. It's still a gold.
Yeah,
It's to their level, like you were saying. There's a big gap between. These are all
Are those guys better than Conor?
Who? Dustin Poirier.
Yes.
And Justin.
Yes.
Than Conor at this stage in their careers.
No,
yes.
when
they fought Charles or
Yeah.
when they fought Khabib, yes, they were better than Conor. Because Conor had, like you said, I mean, I love Conor. Conor's one of my favorite fighters ever.
I still think Conor was in his peak. I think that fight is what ended it. I would still argue that Conor was better than when Justin lost to Charles.
I don't know, because
It's easy to shit on Conor now, but Conor was the man at one point.
I still, like I just said, Conor's that guy. I still think
But you're like,
Conor.
but I feel like we're kind of taking away what Khabib did to him. Like we're saying, like Charles's comp is way harder. Like Khabib went into a the superpowers were pushing like Disney, like ESPN, like everything was behind Conor, and Khabib took that train and knocked it off its tracks,
and then fucking retired. He's like, "Fuck all this shit, I'm gone."
Well, retired years later.
Like that was an incredible moment. Like
it's probably, I mean, to your point, it's probably the greatest moment in UFC history still. As far as like the attention that was drawn to it and the hype around it.
Because it's right after like the double champ does whatever the fuck he wants. Like,
yeah, that shit.
They had all this momentum building into this juggernaut of Conor.
It really did.
And Khabib just walks in out of a cave in Russia.
Has a fucking bear head in one hand. And fucking, yeah, that shit was a perfect storm of fucking just shit timing up and meeting up. And that again, in fighting, a lot of it is just timing and, getting fighters at the right time to create those moments and shit like that. So
that was incredible.
Needless to say, clearly we love the UFC over here.
All right, let's get on.
I'm looking forward to the next main event.
Next card.
Next fight Rose is on, though. I'm not watching.
Nice. All right, let's get on to the next topic.
Music. There's a lot of new music been dropping recently.
Oh, musica.
Fucking Pusha T, Jack Harlow, Future, Bad Bunny.
Where do we want to start?
I mean, I'll start with Jack Harlow. I think he's
Are we not going to start in order?
I mean, we can. Future.
Push.
Yeah,
Push
would be the order.
We haven't talked.
He went number 1, right?
Push went number 1. Push, It's Almost Dry. Incredible album. Production. They got the two best
Production
to be
unmatched.
the two best.
Yeah.
And they deliver.
6 and 6.
6 and 6. Labyrinth got an incredible look. I mean, I know like Push is not like a huge artist, and Labyrinth's been on the Weeknd's album, but like it's cool to see Labyrinth and Ye work together production wise on the song. Yeah. I really enjoyed the album.
I thought it was a good album, but the staying power of it is kind of
it's on my rotation still.
Well, to the masses.
I mean, but that's not who I look
for.
for.
Yeah, well, yeah, but as far as like,
it's not going to stay at number 1.
Yeah,
it did sell another 33,000 units though.
Oh, well, there you go.
I mean, it's a good album.
So the drop off was not as crazy as what people thought it would be.
I mean, yeah, I like the album too, but when you look back on it, like I said, the staying power of it is kind of. I feel like it's gonna.
I don't think it's what Daytona was.
I will say
where Daytona was only 7 songs, but you just kept playing everywhere.
I will say the first night we listened to it all together will not be matched though, because like I could listen to it by myself, it's not the same. That shit was tough.
That speaker and just that Ye drum just.
I don't even know if it was on a speaker. It might have just been off straight Jordan's phone, just all of us right there.
No, it was on Abner's speaker.
Was it on the speaker?
Yeah.
That shit was fucking hitting though. We're all out there fucking.
That shit was like tribal.
Bro, that shit was hard.
That shit was.
We were all in a zone.
We were in a circle,
bro,
just
like
chilling, fucking vibing. That
like,
shit was fucking tough.
We all had a drink in our hand. We're all just vibing.
What's that one song that he samples? What is it? John Lennon that he samples?
Oh, Dreaming of the Past.
Fucking
is the John Lennon sample. But Let the Speakers is I think
Just so you remember the fucking this shit right here. I'm gonna play it right here.
Yeah, that's not the John Lennon one.
That shit is fucking like there's no really like
Just so you remember.
yeah, there's no like bass drop or nothing like that, but the whole time it's just like
It feels like it's getting louder even though it's not.
it's a fucking that's a fucking hell of a sample too. That's some fucking like nitty gritty fucking Wild West type
Dreaming
fucking.
of the Past though probably is like.
That's probably my favorite.
Actually,
song
let the smokers
Let the Shiners.
let the smokers shine.
Yeah, that is incredible.
yeah,
That's Pharrell doing a Ye impression.
is it really?
Yeah.
That shit is fucking.
Let him.
Oh my god!
Push has the best album right now.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna hold
That
you.
shit-
Push has the best
That
album.
shit, like when that shit dropped, bro, I almost
That shit
lost
hits you
my
in your
shit.
soul.
I was
Bro, I
fucking-
had it 2 days early. We were all out,
know.
and I was like,
Bro,
guys,
sometimes you just
we
gotta-
are up. Like
You just gotta fucking listen to it in the moment. Sometimes.
Yeah, that and
It was the right moment.
It
but
was the right moment.
But like, I had this shit for 2 days. I'm like, guys, you don't understand how good this album.
That
is.
shit is
I had
so
heard a couple songs with you of it, but like it just that I was just like, what the fuck?
That shit does hit.
That
It
shit
does,
hit different.
I mean, and Pusha T does
Push
a good,
picks so good
Yeah.
beats. Like,
Yeah, his beat selection is A1.
It's obviously like,
I go for
bro,
PRs
it's
for
easy
that.
to pick the best beats when your producers throughout your career are the Neptunes, Ye,
Yeah,
and
but you have
Timberlake.
to fucking find the fucking
still gotta be that
diamonds.
guy, though.
That's
amongst
I agree.
the fucking diamonds.
I agree, but like people would, because like the Diet Coke beat was like 10 years old. Nobody wanted it. It was out for everyone to have, and nobody wanted
He
it.
went back and fucking.
He picked it up like on the hard drive. Like, let me get that one.
Yep. And that's the
They
thing.
made
You
a
have to be
fucking
able to
banger out
find
of
the
it.
gem amongst the gems.
Push is so good at finding. Maybe it's just his voice or Mike Dean's mixing, but his drums. It feels like on Pusha T albums,
I mean, he's got some of the best delivery in fucking rap ever.
those drums just sound harder on Pusha T
Yeah.
albums. Like that intro on Darkest, the prelude to King
Yeah.
Push. That intro, those drums are just like.
I mean, that's fucking most of it too. Because if you think about it, rap is kind of corny. It's about fucking delivering that shit and making it fucking.
He toes the line on like is this
does.
because he does like the whole like everything don't need to be addressed, and he
Yeah.
does like a sing song kind of
Yeah.
like.
I mean, that's the first time too. He's really kind of
I know
dipped
that's
his toe into that.
when he was
into
like,
that
bro,
avenue.
Push is singing on the album
Because he does the chorus.
greatest thing
He
I've
does
ever
the
heard.
chorus on Dreaming of the Past. He like sings, and I was like, "Is that Pharrell? Like,
Push.
is that Malice? Like, who is that?"
Push? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely.
He's
I
showing
mean, he's always been solidified, but
he's showing you what he.
But he's
like-
changed because
he's
on
like-
King Push the intro, or not King, yeah, King Push the intro on My Name Is My Name.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I rap about trap. I don't sing hooks." But
yeah, you got to evolve.
now
you
he's
have
like,
to evolve.
I'm just gonna show you I could do it. I still rap though. Calm down. But
I think it's album of the year. We'll move on to the other albums. Right now, it is my favorite album because Donda 2 doesn't count, and it's not finished.
And fucking Kendrick Lamar is gonna be dropping.
And Kendrick comes out in 2 weeks, so
this whole
this is all
argument.
mute because in 5 days.
None of this shit is gonna fucking matter anyways.
Because
But
as
it was
soon
So let's get this conversation out the way now. Who has the second runner-up of album of the year?
Because as soon as Kendrick comes out, you can't talk to.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I will say though, like I mean, Pusha T, obviously, we know what we're gonna get from him every time we know we're gonna
Coke
get
rap.
from him. But fucking Jack Harlow's album, I liked it a lot.
I did
thought
not.
it was. I thought it was pretty good.
Back a little bit too, just because I don't think we ever talked about it at all. Fabio,
504 an album I really enjoyed. Bible.
that was a good album.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked
I can't really say much. I haven't really. given
On
it a
God,
chance.
the intro, it doesn't have drums. It's KC and a lot of Kanye influence. Through the Fire, where he's like, he takes like Through the Wire and he just makes his own version. Obviously, the ones with Ye are special production wise.
But, just had to throw Fabio out.
The ones with Quavo, like
Magic
hard
City.
records.
Magic City is my shit.
hard records. Like he showed up on his album.
Gotta play it now.
Yeah, a lot of Axl production, a lot of drill music on that album.
I'm just gonna have to keep playing music.
Talk over it so it doesn't get taken off YouTube.
Hey.
This is
Yeah,
my
I mean,
shit.
I haven't really listened to it.
All right,
like
put it
that,
down.
Fucking fitness.
so I can't really I can't really give a full.
It's some of it's a bit samey because it's just that
same,
5-0 drill sound. But
And that's kind of what I expected.
But he does it well.
He's
I'm a fan of drill music, so
he's in his lane. He's riding it well.
Next up was Future.
Future's album that just came out. I personally,
You really didn't like Jack Harlow's album?
We'll get there.
Relax.
You said no, but you straight up said no.
We'll get there.
Relax.
Future,
I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Future's album, who gives a shit?
What do you mean?
It's gonna do
this
Future.
guy. This guy's a real motherfucker here.
It's
Hold
gonna do
on.
fucking
Time
numbers.
out.
It's gonna do numbers.
Time
As
the
it
fuck
should.
out.
You
You didn't even listen to it first off.
Bro, because it's gonna be the same as every other fucking Future
Not
album.
the same.
Shut
It's
up.
not the same.
How much different is it though?
Shut up.
Okay,
It's a really
that's
good
the
level
only
of
answer
Future.
I fucking needed.
You're
You
quick
fucking
to
stopped
talk about
But
think
how
Jack
about it.
different
Harlow.
are Drake albums?
Yeah, well, how different is anything? But
Kanye makes different albums.
yeah, he does. But Future, I mean, it's just it's whatever to me. Like it has.
If
its
you don't
role.
like Future, you're not gonna like.
Yeah,
that.
it has its
is
role.
a Future.
in it,
album.
yeah, so I mean,
That "Wait for You" song is special though. Special.
Yeah.
That's
no,
a
I personally like
I'm
the
not
Future
even
album.
joking. That's a like they tapped into something with that. Like for real.
On Cinco, when we were doing legs, I was listening to that shit. And I was sore as a bitch, so
Drake is going through it on that record.
I was going through it doing
I don't
legs.
know.
I guess we can move past the Future album if Eric doesn't want to
I mean,
talk
we
about
could
it.
talk about it.
That's
I
just because he hasn't listened to it. For my brother that ain't here, that Future album, me and Jordan, that shit is hard.
just-
I enjoyed it.
I feel like
You
it
know
plays
what's
its
up.
role, and that's it. And but like, there's not.
You
It
haven't
does
listened-
play its role, but every music
the
plays
thing
its
was,
role.
though,
But
if you haven't
plays
listened to
its
it,
role
what-
in the
how you gonna
sense
say
of,
that?
It just doesn't. Future's never really hit for me like that. So that's the thing. Like,
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Consistently sipping on haterade.
I'm not a hater.
Fucking forever sipping.
No,
This
I
guy.
just don't think he's that good. That's it.
He's not that good,
Back
but
to
he
sipping.
makes good music sometimes.
Yeah,
To sipping.
and that's how I think about him. But when people try,
So
to
this is
fucking
an album that has a
call
lot
him
of
a
good
goat,
music.
when
on
people
it.
try and call him a goat, that's where I start having.
Nobody is saying that in this conversation. What
Yes,
Eric,
it
listen to me.
has been said.
What I will say is, if you like when Future makes good music, this album has a lot more good music than bad.
All right, fair enough. I'm sure I'll
And
come across it at some
It's got
point.
some good features on it. Like, I mean, there's some I don't. I'm
There's
not a fan
some
of.
really trash songs on there. Do not get me wrong. Like he swings and misses a couple times, but
But it's him trying to diversify.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not-
he
it's
goes
not
for
like
something.
One, it's not just his normal, like you were saying, his normal Future sound.
Yeah,
He
it's not
doesn't-
mixtape
He
Future.
doesn't give you that the whole album. He gives you some.
I prefer mixtape Future over.
That's what some of my favorite songs are that. But he gives you a diverse sound that he did try to he tried
it's
to
an
go
album.
other places.
It's an album.
How many songs is it?
Like
Only-
21,
yeah,
17 or
pretty sure.
21, 17 for the normal, 21 for the
Yeah.
deluxe. I think
I don't even know if I could sit through 21 Future songs.
Bro,
they're not that long.
you're a fucking hater.
I'm not a hater, but
16
it's
for the
not my
normal.
favorite. Just like you don't like
16.
Tyler the Creator, he makes great music, but you
22
don't like
for the
him.
deluxe.
Yeah,
If
you're wrong for that.
You don't. It's not your
I
preference.
listened to some of it though.
And
I at least
li-
tried.
And I listened to.
But I at least tried.
Bro, you can go through my phone. I have Future on my phone
Call
in
Me
my
If
library.
You Get Lost is a great album.
I have Future in my phone in my library.
You didn't like Call Me If You Get Lost?
There's
See,
some good
and,
songs.
but see, and that's where the issue is. At least I could give Future his credit, and I have songs.
You
just
thought
did.
Flower Boy was
I
ass,
just
and
did.
you're wrong for
I
that.
said there's some good songs. Tyler comes out with some good songs. for
Okay,
me.
but Tyler
But
the
it's just
Creator.
not
But
my
he makes
sound.
albums.
Let's get this. Let's
Not
get this.
my
Let's get this straight though.
cup of
Tyler the
tea.
Creator is a better artist. I don't care who you are, what you think, whatever. I don't care how objective or whatever music
Let me
is.
lift this up a little bit.
Future, Tyler the Creator is a better artist than Future,
I would agree.
and I think most people would. I know music is how you feel, and it varies from person to person. But Tyler the Creator makes quality as far as like production. If we're not even putting lyrics or anything like that, Tyler the Creator has that on Future. If you take away the rapping from Future, he doesn't really have anything else after that. He has the persona.
Singing, melodic.
He has the persona.
It's got the melodies.
He's got singing. He's got melodies. It's not really fair to Future.
I don't know. I
But-
think
He's not great. He's not a great artist, but you have to adjust your expectations. Like I don't look to Future to make great music.
I don't really either. I don't look to Future for much.
But when I
When
when I
I-
listened to the album, I was like, "This is pretty good."
But that's the thing. Like I'm not taking away from it. I'm just saying like it
you
doesn't-
literally said you're not even gonna listen to
because
it.
it's not. I can't.
Didn't even give a
Future doesn't
quality review. You're hating on the people here.
I'm
You're
not.
not even doing your job on giving the real listen to give a good review.
It's the best Future album in a few years.
So fuck off, Eric.
And I'll take that for what it is. But I don't know. Future just,
I mean,
he's all right.
we know as a group.
All right, we got to move off.
There's
Future.
songs that I have of him that I like, but it's not something that I'm going to.
We know as a group, we all listen to a different, diverse kind of, we listen to a lot of music. It's not just all one thing on our fucking phones. So
we all listen to a lot of different music.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's just not your cup of tea, just like Tyler's not necessarily always my cup of tea. I have Tyler songs, just like you have Future songs.
So can I call you a Tyler hater since you're calling me a Future hater?
It's not the same. I at least sat down and listened to it, and then I was like, I don't like it. You're like, before you even listen to it, I don't like it. That's different.
I mean, there's some, I get what he's saying, though. There's some artists where I'm like, when people are like, I sat down, I didn't like it, I'm like, how? Like, how do you really listen to something and not pull away like that? This is great.
There's
even
some
if it's
songs
just
I do like though.
Like Flower Boy. If the content is not for you, and I get like the content is,
it's out there.
It takes a little getting used to, especially even for Tyler fans. I'll say not especially, but even for Tyler fans, it's like different.
But the production,
it's
and the
incredibly
quality
composed album.
Yes.
And I'll give credit. I mean, but also just it all depends on what I'm looking for in that specific. Like I've always said I'm more of a beats and like.
But his production is incredible.
I know, but it's more of like I like sometimes more fast, upbeat tempos rather than the production could be good.
But
if
he
it's
can
like
give you that.
He can, and I'm not saying he couldn't. Tyler is he's a good artist.
He's like one of the most diverse. Like
He's
when
a great artist.
Right.
Like,
He's a great artist.
Like Call Me If You Get Lost
Like,
is like mixtape trap drums. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like some Tyler shit, but it all just depends on where I'm at that day. That's what I can give you.
Igor is like all break beats. Like and Playboy Cardi, like the way he can fuse like I'm going to make songs with like Caliucci's or Estelle and have Sade and Frank Ocean. But I could also have Playboy Cardi and ASAP Rocky on my album. Like he's like
it's
he's very Kanye like that.
When it's diverse and shit, I respect it more because I like different shit like that. I don't just like a straight sound through a whole project. I like, okay, he tried something with this. He tried to reach a different group. He went out of his element.
I like concept albums.
I do and I don't. It all depends, like I said, on what the concept is. Like if it's a slow, like depressed, singy concept, I'm not really gonna fuck with that. Like I like more upbeat shit that it's like.
I suggest you go back and listen.
I might have to listen to some of Tyler's shit to give you a better opinion. But if I'm doing that, he's got to listen to all of Future's albums.
Okay, we'll do
one by one, Devitt.
That'll be a video. We'll sit down and we'll do track by track. We'll do, what's the Future album called? I Never Liked You versus, we'll pick a Tyler album.
Fair enough. All right, we could do that. Moving on, though, to you.
Oh, yeah. I guess I got to answer for this.
What is it? What don't you like about the Jack Harlow album? Because like
I'm not, this is not fair. I did not listen to the entire album.
Fair enough.
I haven't either.
I was I was with Ryan and Jordan, and we played like 5 or 6 songs, and I didn't like any of them.
Really?
Like from the top of the album, like Jordan was pointing out, like these were done by Pharrell and like, Timberland, and I didn't care. Like nothing spoke to me. Maybe it's his voice.
Yeah.
I just don't like that samey flow, like trying to be cool all the time.
Yeah.
I don't like any artist who tries to be cool all the time.
You could definitely tell that. I mean,
the song with Drake, I know you like that one.
He's definitely
right, but like that's the entire same. His voice does not change. He's
feeding into that.
He's feeding into who he's trying to
Drake,
become right now.
I mean, he's falling into that.
He's
Drake
trying to
role,
say he is that guy.
He's trying to fall into that Drake role.
But even like,
he's trying to say he's that guy. I don't think he's there yet.
To take it one step further, I don't think the inflection in his voice changes. Like he sounds very samey on every song, and like nothing. Like, what is a verse that like stuck with you of like had impact?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, there's not really anything that was super hard hitting like that. But
and I'm not
on
first listen. I can't just be like, "Oh, the production was incredible." On first listen, I can't do that. You have to say something.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with that. Like it was more of a production thing, and the beat selection, like the different types of beats that he had on there, and that he was able to go on and flow. That he was really like saying anything that was gonna like really make an impact or anything like that. not really, but I felt like his ability to flow on any type of beat and, you know, put words together and shit like that. I liked it. Did I think it was anything great? No. Do I think he's trying to play into that Drake role a lot? Yes. But
I will agree with that. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
He makes music that, like, my least favorite Drake music, because there's some Drake records that I absolutely love. Like, you guys know this.
Yeah.
But when Drake is, like, just making the same song and being cool and, like, just unrelatable things, like, I'm not into that. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and you and Jordan are more into, like, when he's popping his shit and trying to be cool, and I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell in the album though that he is, you know, he's definitely trying to follow that formula, that Drake formula, and there, you know, you could hear the influence that Drake has. You know, I don't know how much of it, but you could definitely tell there is a lot of influence, whether it is like directly or indirectly from Drake.
I mean, he was the one of the biggest artists of the last.
Yeah.
While Jack Harlow was coming up.
So I mean, you could definitely tell that, but more so now than ever, that it seems like he's trying to play into that role and like
he's trying to
get himself into that status, which, you know, kudos to him. But yeah,
I got to go listen to the whole album. But as of now, the only songs that I've enjoyed are the single.
I also got a chance to sit down and listen to it on a 3-hour car ride. So, you know, there was a different, like, I was chilling, like driving, like I got a chance to, like,
I think, and how I first listened to it is not how I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy, like, with my headphones on, like,
listen. You want to dive into it, like,
And
I just don't think I'm gonna get much out of it. Like,
and you probably won't, but like I said, I was able to sit down in my car for 3 hours, listen to it, like take what I can out of it for a first listen, and, you know, give it a solid opinion on it.
Yeah.
When I listened to it yesterday on my drive, I listened to it because I knew we were going to talk about it on the drive over to Narcoossee. Yeah. So, I mean, I listened to probably a little bit. I'd say half the album.
It struck me how short the first 6 songs were.
Yeah,
they were like
2 minutes.
Yeah, or like a minute 39, minute 40.
It's only 17 songs, 51 minutes.
Yeah, so I had a 35-minute drive.
It does. And what's it called? The last 2 songs, if you're on Apple Music, are music videos. So you could take out, you know, probably another like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I listened to a good 20. I'd say 20 minutes.
Depending how long the video. I was just kind of giving it, you know, just a rough estimate, but
for me at least, I will say, like, he is a good lyricist. Like,
he can put words together.
You could tell, like, that's what he was trying to do, and like you said, he was flowing on different beats. I mean, there's different songs. He's got a song with freaking Lil Wayne on it.
Yeah.
He's got a song with.
I didn't even get there. I saw that he has that.
I didn't listen to it in order. I just click shuffle, listen to it. Was like, all right, let's see what happens.
Ooh.
I didn't. I thought I was listening to an order, but in reality, it didn't go in order. As I noticed, I was like,
it's an album that you could do that though. If I'm being honest, you could put it on shuffle. Like, there's not really a lot of nuance to it. There's not a lot of like.
It's not what I want. Yeah. It's not what I want to hear.
It is kind of more of a collection of music and kind of showing like his pool and like the type of people that he got on features.
Like a compilation album.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. I mean, there is some type of like.
Is there a theme to the album at all?
Kind of. What's
the theme?
There's some songs.
He's that guy.
Because I know it says "Come home, the kids miss you."
Like so, and there is like splashes of that like throughout the album.
Is that about him?
Pretty sure.
About just kind of
come home to Louisville.
Yeah, about him. Like him, he's been able to go on tour and fucking since COVID and since he's popped and shit like that. Now he's coming like kind of like a Drake thing, like kind of like what Views was, but
Club Paradise.
Like I said, at least
Club Paradise is the best
Yeah.
realization of that song.
I think and I mean, I might be wrong because I mean, his stardom, he is getting there. But like, I think this album, he's trying to say he's up here already, and I still see him like around here.
But his pool might be that.
Because I thought "Talk of the Town," the intro, like I don't even remember it. It doesn't stick out to me.
Yeah.
Young HARLEEZY, I thought was.
I thought it was
truly like corny.
That's the one that Snoop Dogg's on, right?
Yeah, I thought it was truly corny. Like I was just like, "Oh, please end this."
End my misery.
The Dua Lipa one I thought was horrendous.
Yeah, that one I wasn't too big of a fan.
I was like, what are we doing?
I love the vocab.
I like a Blade of Grass. I like State Fair.
I didn't get there. I did not get there. I listened to Little Secret and Movie Star and Side Piece, and I thought all 3 of those were the same song. I thought they were really bad.
You can hear that he's trying to fucking like he's trying to beat.
I
Drake.
am sorry that I have.
He's trying to beat Drake, and that's where I kind of like I get trying to follow a formula, and it's obviously
but that's not what makes Drake. That's not what makes Drake great.
Exactly, and it's like you got to fucking do you, bro. Do you?
Drake has a few of those like big hit records where that's what people look to him for, like Hotline Bling. But like that's not what makes Drake loved by everyone.
I also feel like just kind of because I've listened to Jack Harlow from like before when he was big and shit like that, like when he was still putting out albums and not really getting a lot of play. Like he does kind of have that feel. I feel like it is kind of just naturally how he is. He kind of has that kind of like lover boy type shit, like shit, kind of like a Drake. So it's kind of, I feel like it kind of naturally was supposed to happen like that, but no one has the start. Like
I saw people making Mac Miller comparisons. I think that's just because they're white.
Yeah. He definitely has more of that kind of sly lover boy type feel to him.
Mac's more of a stoner.
Can we get to the worst comparison?
Way more musically inclined.
Can we get to the worst comparison?
Yeah, well,
people are trying to compare him or saying he's going to be better than M.
Yeah, but that's
at what?
At music.
That's just people.
They were like, he's
that's
going to be a better.
Recency bias. That's people
it's
just.
not even recency bias. That's
clickbait.
It's just
it's
fucking
it's clickbait.
Horseshit is what it is. When I read that, I was like,
none of us are the biggest Eminem fans, and all of us will tell you like,
Eminem's
yeah.
greater than Jack Harlow will ever be. I don't care if he's fucking making music for the next 20 years.
Yeah, this is me taking taking bias out of it. Like,
I mean, that's me taking bias too. I don't think where Jack Harlow is.
None of us are Eminem stands, correct?
Eminem fans?
Like stands. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say he's the greatest ever. But
right. Like
he's up there for sure, but he's not like, I don't know.
Eminem is just better. Like in all aspects of.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. That's just clickbait. That's all it is.
It basically
this is what whoever posted that
like,
wanted this. This is what they wanted. Just
they got it. Damn it! Whoever posted
you know what? Jack Harlow's better than Drake.
Whoever posted it.
Jack Harlow's better than Jay-Z.
Whoever posted it.
Jack Harlow's better than Kendrick Lamar.
Hot take alert. Where's the button?
Better than Michael Jackson.
Somebody call 911.
When you said the Kendrick thing, I thought he was gonna for surely get you on that one.
The lightning strike inside.
I'm not impressed.
He's good, and I feel like he's good for his generation. Do I really think it's gonna hit?
I think he's a cool guy.
I don't even think he's good for his generation. Like, I think Lil Durk had a better album.
I didn't listen to it, so
I enjoyed that album a lot more than I enjoyed what I've heard of.
I think he's a cool guy, but I think he's
a cool guy.
I think he's more of like a.
I think that's what he wanted.
I think he's winning more of the popularity contest.
But that's
than,
what
putting
music
out good
is now.
music.
Yeah, he'll win like Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah. Because he's a face.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's winning
got the personality
contest, but when it comes to the sound,
and on social media too, like all with the way that he's linked up with Drewski and shit, and he's made a name.
Oh, his personality is hilarious,
and that's what
those videos with him and Drewski,
and that's what's gonna get him farther.
I can relate.
A1, they're so funny,
and that's what's gonna get him farther in his career is his personality.
Where's your where would you
favorite vaccination spot? Because they're trying to get political. Because that's vacation, dumbass.
That I was like, damn. I was like, I can see myself doing some.
Because they are so relatable. Everything that I had to say about Jack Harlow's album, it's not even negative. I didn't listen to the album, so like.
Yeah, we can't give.
Don't criticize me for my non-opinion of the album.
We can't give you a full opinion because
the second half of the album might be better than Thriller, and I might come in next week and be
holy shit.
Yeah, like I was wrong, guys, but like him and Drewski, like I love that. Like that's where like this fake tough guy thing is completely gone. Like they can just be themselves, and they are super funny, super relatable. Like.
I mean, even today or yesterday, they had
at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, when they were carrying him across the field because they didn't want to get his fucking shoes dirty.
Bad though. The only white guy getting carried across.
Yeah, I guess when you look at it,
I was
like that, but
delete this, Jack.
Who knows? I didn't see it.
But him and Drewski are just too funny.
Yeah, Drewski looked like a fucking. He had like a whole pink fucking thing on with the short shorts
and the cowboy
boots and the hat. Yeah.
Drake is the least funny one in that group.
I mean, he doesn't need to be. He just needs to show up.
But people like Drake for oh, he's the funny guy. Like
Drake is funny though. Like Drake,
but
Drake
gets
is funny.
Outclassed in that funny battle between those three.
But the thing is, Drake is only funny when he's not trying to be funny. I feel like anytime Drake tries to be funny, it's almost cringy. When Drake doesn't try to be funny, he's fucking hilarious.
He's like he's real life conversation funny.
Yeah, like he's like just funny. But like when he tries to be funny, it's like
Drewski's a real like comedian. Like what everything Drewski does is
that fucking Sunday conversation video is fucking hilarious.
Damn. Just two skinny guys in a fatso. Shut the fuck up, fat ass.
That shit was fucking. That was a good one. That was a good interview.
Drewski, I can't even see your torso. You motherfucker.
What? When we start giving porcupines guns?
Yeah, he goes, you believe in animal rights? Pete is a big part of my life.
That shit was gold. Gold.
Oh, Drewski's funny.
Any other music that we
Bad Bunny also dropped a new album.
Bunny,
no
baby.
opinion.
I haven't listened to it.
I listened to it and I
don't know what's going on.
I have no opinion.
Well,
I mean,
it sounded like good.
Yeah.
The opinion I could give off of it, because I haven't listened to the whole thing yet,
I
but
listened to like little 5 songs that we listened to just now.
I just like the diversity in it as well. Like he switches it up on the beat. He's not necessarily in his depression state,
little
like
emo shit.
Yeah, he's on more of like an upbeat. He's got a couple big features on. Well, I would say big. He's got a couple features on it.
He doesn't need.
Yeah,
features.
he doesn't have.
No, he doesn't need features. I'm just saying.
He's the artist.
That's Tony Dice. That's really the only one.
Tony Dice, Jay Cortez. He's got a couple.
But that's. I mean, Tony Dice is really the only like OG on there. I mean, he's not even really an OG like that.
Yeah, I mean Jay Cortez. You don't like Jay Cortez? No,
not really. But I mean, I will say this though: Bad Bunny has definitely, carved out a super lane for himself, and like he owns that lane. And
I'm interested to see.
It has put him in like the upper echelon of artists as far as like being able to do numbers and
Party's a good song.
He might be able to sell out stadiums.
He did.
He did that already. That's right. Fuck.
Ryan went.
That's right. That was at Amway.
He didn't go to a stadium.
Yeah, that was at Amway.
But he did sell out stadiums.
But he did that back-to-back days, and then he went down to Miami and did it. I was saying "Party" is a good song too.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm way more interested because all transparency, like Bad Bunny's music is not for me. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish. Yeah. I'm never gonna relate to the music. And I have to be able to listen to what you're saying for me to enjoy your music. That being said, the next stage of his career is what I'm more interested in. Like with him going into being movies now, like
being a movie star.
He's going toe to toe with Brad Pitt in a new movie. He's joining Marvel in the MCU. Like that's gonna be the more.
Yeah, he's been able. That's what I'm saying. Like he's elevated the way he's been able to elevate his stardom is incredible.
And his personality is incredible.
Yeah.
Like you just see interviews with him and you're just like, oh, I get why people.
Good for him. Yeah, he's definitely made a name for himself. Carved out a career. He
drops albums like all the time.
Yeah, he's consistently working.
And they're like not short albums.
For being such a big artist, he puts out music at a high rate
consistently, and it's not bad music. Like I'm
right.
Get it? You don't have an opinion on it.
Production level
is good. What he's actually, I mean, I don't, I understand Spanish, but I'm not like the biggest Spanish speaker. I'm not listening to everything he's saying like, oh, I could relate to that. But he puts out good music.
I'll take you guys' word for it. I mean, people seem to love this man.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they do.
I mean, shit, fucking Ryan loves him.
The world loves
Ryan is a huge fan of him.
Bad Bunny, baby. That's his doorbell.
That is his doorbell.
When you ring the doorbell, that's what it says. It's not a ding dong. It's a Bad Bunny, baby.
We're like, hello.
If you don't believe us, go ring his doorbell.
Go give him a knock. Go check out XL Tint 2. Boom, cheap plug.
Not cheap.
For free.
Earned.
And then back to what we had said a little bit ago. We're in the weights. Kendrick is coming.
Oh, did you see that thing that Spotify leaked this morning?
Nope.
Quickly deleted?
Nope.
It was like, I was on Twitter at like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I saw this, that they put up a picture of Kendrick with the thing. It was Kendrick drops the highly anticipated, the Heart Part 5. It was up for like 10 minutes before they deleted it.
Is that what the album's called?
No. That's the singles he always puts out before an album. Heart, because Heart Part 4 was the Big Sean diss that he put out right before, and then Humble came out the next day.
Oh.
So people. So this week,
my prediction of Kendrick
5.
Lamar never putting out music again is wrong. It seems
it's a double album, by the way.
I'm double wrong.
He announced it in the most Kendrick Lamar way.
Wrong twice.
Because I don't know if you guys have been following this guerrilla.
Bitch, you're wrong.
This guerrilla marketing they've been doing. Have you guys been following
like with the billboards and shit like that,
and the websites and all that stuff? So
I've caught like little things.
So
of it,
the Oklaglama, whatever the website is that has all the thing, it's a bunch of folders, and you have to move the folders out of the way. And underneath like folders. It's a cool like little thing. After you drag them all, you can do it on your phone. There's a black one that says important, but when you click it, it just goes to a dead website, just like all the rest of them do. So I'm assuming eventually that's going to open to a website with either a single or the album. But he put up a picture with a book called with the album title on it, the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar put
2 CDs that said mastered, so it's a double disc, and that was confirmed. And
he definitely does put a lot of work and time into his music.
Everyone
and his
thinks he's
art.
dropping an album. Drops.
It is very. It is very.
I'm way more interested into like what he has to say than anybody else.
Yeah.
Like we have not heard from him.
Yeah, he don't really do, but he doesn't really do interviews or steps out like that much either. So like
stays hidden.
You get his takes through his music.
And when we do like hear him, it's like something's coming.
Yeah.
Like we know that there's something in the works.
Yeah, for being as big as he is very low key.
I'm super excited for the album. I think it'll be album of the year. I mean, every other one is. He's made 4 of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. So,
boom, you heard it here first. Well, I get what's the day that it comes out?
May 13th, Friday.
It is May 8th right now. By the time you hear this, it will probably be May 12th, 10th, 11th.
Yeah,
somewhere around that time.
10th or 11th. But Friday.
Maybe we'll do a little fucking
reaction,
BTS fucking reaction type shit, and
maybe on Instagram Live.
On the gram live.
I don't know. I kind of want to listen to the Kendrick album like the way I like to listen. Like, no offense to you guys, but
we're chopped liver to Dennis. We're just.
But like he does
been
like
waiting, though.
He does like dense concept albums.
Yeah.
When I remember, I like turned the lights off in my room and just laid down and listened to Pimp a Butterfly. Like, and damn, like it's how they're very dense. You have to pay attention to them. Like,
yeah, you do.
They can't just be background noise.
They are layers to it.
It's like an onion.
I was just about to say that.
Onions have layers.
Cakes. Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers. Ogres are not like cakes. We're like onions. I don't even know if that was the right accent, but it's close enough.
It's close enough. People got the point.
I'm not a good accent guy, but I think that's all we got for you guys this week. As always, everyone love everyone. Everybody love everybody. Sorry. Right there. It's fair enough. We'll see y'all next week. Deuces.